All right. Hi, guys. Happy Friday to you. Today, I'm going to talk to you about something very important that I happened to learn in a webinar course I was in this week. And it's about what you give is what you get. And actually, it relates to me personally right now because I'm actually learning something new. I'm learning how to become really great at YouTube. So here I am live. I'm challenging myself. And one of my mentors, he had a fantastic talk the other day, and I was just really, really blown away by his talk. And the niche that I'm going into now is actually teaching people how to become successful party event organizers. And one of the things that my goal is to provide true value, and hopefully with some of my excitement too when I start talking about my events, because I could do them for free for the rest of my life, and or like I said, without getting paid. And that's one of the things that I really felt that I was able to tap into the 22 plus years that I was doing events and parties and all kinds of fun things for myself and my friends. So one of the main things you got to think about is actually who is it that you're talking to, and what do they need to hear? What kind of value can you give to them? And that's what I'm striving to do, because I'm trying to figure out, okay, who, number one, am I talking to? What situation are they in? And one of the best ways and kind of funny ways that we do that, we call it the avatar, who is your target market. And my avatar is myself in those days when I started doing events and parties. Why did I? And then I ask myself, why did I do that? Well, I did that because I wanted to have more fun. I wanted to meet more people and build a new network, because I actually happened to move from another country to the United States from Norway. And I wanted new friends. I was in college, and of course, you meet a bunch of people there too. But it was a commuter college. It wasn't a college that people normally stayed at, even though it was a big college. It was like 30,000 people there. And so I felt that I needed to make friends in a different way. And one of the skills that I took with me, just culturally, is that in Norway we used to go out in groups of people. So we would be maybe I so because I played soccer, so I would gather my friends and we would have like a pre-party before we went out on town, and or we invited some people to a house party. And that's one thing that I could bring to the American culture too. They're not used to have like a pre-party before you go out for a party. And culturally, just a quick story and insight there, we did that because it's very expensive to buy drinks or all the drinks that you want when you go out and party in Scandinavia, because it's really expensive. So we would have our own drinks at a pre-party and warm up, so to speak, there first. We call it Vorspiel, Vorspiel, something. Not a very good speller, but something like that. It comes from Germany, Vorspiel, foreplay, but it was for drinks. And so that's what we do, or did. And it was a great experience for me to relate to them, because I happened to meet a friend of mine there. I'm not going to get into that story now, but him and I decided, let's do a party together. So one of the things that I would like to instill in you is to start thinking about how can you create value for the people that you are gonna organize parties for. The best way to find out is actually start asking them, find out what it is that they like, and obviously, if you're gonna do a party, you have to bring your passion to the table. Like, one of the skills I felt I was quite good at was that when I was going to do a party, and it might be a brand new thing or something I just thought of, wow, wouldn't this be fun? I would always run it by my friends first. And first I needed to be excited about it myself. That was step number one. So let's step back here so I can help you as much as I can. So step number one, ask yourself, what would you be excited about? And hopefully you're a little bit like your friends. Then the next question is, okay, map it out kind of in your mind. Think about what it would be like. Okay, so an example for me could be, let's say I wanted to organize a beach party. I said, how would I would say, okay, wouldn't it be nice to have DJs there? Yeah, that would be nice. Wouldn't it be nice to have good food? Yeah. Drinks? Yeah. Maybe sponsors? Yeah. Some games? Yeah. The right place, the right beach. where you're allowed to have a private party, because not all beaches are, or areas you're allowed to do that. This could be a park, for by the way, it doesn't have to be a beach. But and then I started mapping things out. I started making some phone calls, and then just seeing what was possible and not possible before I started sharing the ideas too much. I started painting the idea in my head, and I was thinking, okay, wouldn't it be nice to have some sponsors there, and certain friends, and maybe I wanted to tap into certain groups of people to have them bring their friends. And I was starting to map out, okay, how many people could I get there, what should I charge? So I had a few of these things in mind, already in mind, even though I hadn't done it before, never done it before. But I started to have an idea about things. Then I would go to some key friends and I would say, hey, what if we got 200 people, 500 people, whatever, together and did a beach party? And I was thinking about doing this, and we're going to have this, and we're going to have that. What do you think about that? Then I would get feedback. Then I would find out, oh yeah, that's good, but they may come with other ideas, other options, or other thoughts. Maybe some people are not so keen on dressing up in beach wear, so to speak. So attracts a certain kind of crowd too, in many ways, right? So I would then get feedback back and figure stuff out. So that's one of the things that I did, even if it was a regular party. And I say regular party because I looked at myself as a very unique party promoter in that sense. I wasn't the typical guy that would just do a dance party every Saturday. There might be a different DJ. That was boring to me. I wanted to have something that's much more exciting. So you'll learn that from me as you get to know me as well. But I very often, when I did parties, it would be 2, 3, 4 rooms, meaning one with the European music, one with 80s, 70s, and 80s music, one with Latin music. I sometimes hired a 11-piece Latin band to play salsa music because I love to I took salsa classes. And then we would go to whoever had access to the Latin crowd in my town, which is San Francisco. I would bring them in as a co-host, where I did all the production and everything, and they would make money on their ticket sales. So, and then the Brazilians, the Persians, right? So we went after all these different groups. So that's usually how I set things up. But then I could also switch things up by different venues I could go to. And the venues needed then to cater to what the concept I was. If you want to have 3 different or 4 different rooms with music, you need to have different things. So back to my mentor, the coach, he talked about very much like, okay, you need to bring value to whoever it is that you're talking to. You need to help them with ideas, help them see the potential for themselves. And of course, I had lists and things to do when I know I was going to organize an event like that. And huge, I mean, just for the venue, all kinds of questions: how to negotiate the deal, if I needed to, do I need to pay rent? What's the codes for safety, and how many people could I get in? Emergency exits, possibilities for bringing in food, or do they have food they could bring there? Drink sponsors, could I bring them in? Where would the DJs? Well, every time I would walk into a place, I would say, okay, where would the DJ be? That needs to be put up in the right place so you can create the right energy and put it as the focal point. So all these things. Do they have a stage we can elevate the DJ? Do we have stage for a fashion show or what have you? Or people sometimes like to dance on the stage. All these things. So, which is a really fun part of the job, to create something. So that's really what my goal for you that's watching this is to help you bring out the creative part of you, bring out the energy in you, where you can turn around and talk to some people. And that's kind of what I touched on a little bit before. I have the ability, when I was doing parties, I had the ability to talk to one person or 2 people and say, hey, yeah, I'm going to do this. What do you think about it? And I would have a lot of excitement because I had it planned out in my head first, so I could tell them a story. I could paint a picture for them. And that's really key. That's a big takeaway here. Paint a picture. Know what's possible. Ideally, you don't want to say things that you can't do, because that could backfire on you. So do a little research in advance. Is it possible to do this there? Can you bring, for the beach party I did, for example, I needed to know, could I bring drinks? Because you're not allowed to serve alcohol to the public. So could we close off the event just for us? that I need to know. Otherwise, the police or the sheriffs could come and bust us, and I would get a big old fine. So I declared all these things ahead of time. And then when you paint that picture, I keep on getting to the point here, then I could really excite people. I could really get them excited. And that's one, I was blessed with that skill, because I could talk to 1 or 2 people. They'll turn around a big 10, 20 people each. And if you have 2, 3, 4, 10, 20 or 30 or 40 of people, 50 people like that, boom, suddenly you have 400 people, 500, 1,000. And then you start spreading the word. And then there's other channels to do marketing too. So those are some of the things that I really hope to be able to give you going forward in this, all these different talks that I'm going to do, and help you paint the picture and look for what you want to do and become good at. And that's what I feel that I was very blessed with. So I appreciate you being here today. I'm not going to talk much more today. I just want to plant that little seed. Is what you give is what you get. So if you give a lot of yourself and help people meet people and become a connector, help people meet new people and make friends, that comes back to you in spades. And that's very much what I was a part of as well, because I wanted to have more friends myself. And I also wanted to give that to other people and make sure to introduce people and everything. So anyway, thank you so much for watching today. Happy Friday to you. Please leave a comment below for the ones that didn't show up here live. And because I think I have the settings set that you could still leave comments afterwards. And I really appreciate you showing up and listening. And if you have any questions, post them below. Okay? Take care. Thanks again. Bye-bye.